In the 19th century, in the area around Islamudin, where there is a Baharawali Masjid is origin, is a small forest on the outskirts of New Delhi. At the beginning of the British colonization of India, this area was owned by a relative of the Mughal king known as Nawab. Nawab means Raja for the king of Islam. In those days, king was a nickname for noble relatives. Nawab at the time was often accused of being slaves by the British colonial court. It was like the property at stake for an act that he never did, and of course has never been proven. It was a difficult time for Islamic leaders or dignitaries, Hindus used slander and incitement to the British Empire against Muslims. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala moves his plan with wisdom. At the same time, there's a few scholar who is Wara and Zuhud, the descendant of Sayyidina Abu Bakr named Maulana Ismail, who settled in Saharanpur. His name is quite well known and is being famous as a priest and a wali in the Indian peninsula. It causes many people ask for the various kinds of desire as if his necromancer or Simon. The situation was disturbed his soul and heart, so he went into exile living in the forest and the outskirts of the city. Formerly, Maulana Muhammad Ismail, who lives in the suburb of Delhi, was accused. Maulana had a house near the historical building called Kosat Kamba. Meanwhile, Maulana also took homies in a Janjana in the Muzaffarnagar district. But after the death of his first wife, he remarried to a member of the family of 55 Bucks Kandalari, who came from a common ancestor. He often visited Kandla Sahantu and made Kandla his second home. The Sidiq Sheikh Janjana and Kandla families have been known as a generation of US Muslims, with extraordinary sacrifice and devotion to religion. They are highly respected wherever they are. Back to the previous story, one day Noah went hunting with his men around his forest. In his hunt, he was surprised to find a dead warrior and a bird and children in the forest. With a big attitude as a landowner, Noah called the bird to him. With a humble attitude, Maulana apologized for inhabiting the Nawab lands and then asked for permission to live there. Finally, Maulana was allowed to inhabit the place on the condition that Maulana was willing to become a ghulam, or slave sent to the God forest. This condition is accepted, unnoticed by the Nawab that Maulana is accused of Maulana Ismail. It's not true in the distant future. Nawab will be tried in the colonial court on charges of conspiring to overthrow the British Empire from Indian soil. If proven guilty, he will be sentenced to death, and his property will be confiscated. Nawab is in a state of anxiety and restlessness. He was advised by his friends and relatives to find someone who has a strong relationship with Allah and whose prayers are accepted. They believe it's the only way to survive the positions, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only place to complain about the problem. So we also ask people in many places where to find people who have advantage in the field of religion. Most people say the name Maulana Ismail from Saharanpur, or also Saharanpur, but unfortunately, the person he was looking for had long disappeared. Without giving up hope, Nawab tried hard to find Maulana Ismail. How shocked he was when he was told by his man that the person he was looking for was the ghulam in his forest. Instantly, he had a plan for the forest, then wrapped himself under the feet of Maulana Ismail. Nowadays, I'm a ghulam and you are my master, the words that came out of the mouth of Nawab. Then Nawab was isolated by Maulana Ismail and sympathetically helped the Nawab's complaint. Maulana suggests how to solve the problem. Nawab was asked to perform ablution and he invited Nawab to pray with him. Then he asked Nawab to confirm Maulana Ismail's prayer. He told Nawab to try to use the power of prayer on his own, not an act only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nawab was finally tried in court, and it turns out he was not proved guilty. After the trial was over, Nawab was to find Maulana Ismail to give him his good news. Maulana, Allah has granted our request. Now my life has been saved, but my property was stolen. Maulana Ismail will propose that the court decision be appealed, and Nawab did as Maulana suggested. As before, Nawab prayed with Maulana Ismail, but this time Nawab himself prayed and Maulana agreed. Finally, the court decision was in favor of Nawab. His life and property were returned to him, and the British Empire guaranteed protection for Nawab and his family. The state gave a very strong warning to anyone, especially Hindus, who dare to slander again will be punished. Nawab said, Maulana Shah, my life and property were almost gone. Now I have everything back, so I have made the decision to donate my life and property to Maulana. So since that day, Nawab was wise and studied with Maulana Ismail until the end of his life. Not long after, Maulana Muhammad Ismail had a second marriage after his first wife died. He married the eldest granddaughter of Maulana Muzaffar Hussain. Maulana Muzaffar Hussain was the Quran teacher for the children of a Tawas figure that their name Mirza Defined Bucks, who was related to Bahadur Shah Jafar of the last Mughal Emperor. He lived in a house called Kosat Kamba. It said that this house was from a Tawas Islamic figure from the descendant of the Mughal king who was before to him. In nowadays, a small mosque close to the king said. It was also used as the living room of Mirza Ali Fine Box as the name of Maulana Wali Masjid. Maulana does not spend his days in the obscurity of the meaning and purpose of life. Even Mirza Ali Fine Box has an eyewitnesses and has an image of a personal experience about how Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala prayer was answered by Allah. Worship seeker congregations, worship seeker become by teaching the Quran to provide direction in the faith and job in his life. He also gave water to thirsty workers, helped repair roads, drew water from wells, and gave it to them to use for acquisition. And then over the salat of them, he was very grateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for having been given the opportunity to serve the slave. Though he doesn't deserve it, he has reached the level of his son. One time when he asked Maulana Rashid Ahmad Gangohi to teach him suluk, Maulana Rashid said, "You admit it, you have reached the goal to be achieved through his method." It's like someone who has memorized the Quran and feels that he should also learn Arabic because he did not start with it. Maulana never had a grudge against anyone, his memory is also amazing, so that he does not forget the names of everyone who has ever met him. Everyone who had contact with him was impressed by his spirit, sincerity and selflessness. The leader of varying groups in Delhi have great respect for him. Even though they did not like each other, so many of them were willing to be fight playing with him. And from the descendants of Maulana Ismail, a human named Maulana Ilyas Ahmad Maulana was born. A servant of Allah, he was chosen by Allah to revive the work of preaching the Prophet Muhammad and his companions. Maulana Muhammad Ismail died on 26 February 1898 at Katil Wali Masjid in Tirana Bahram, Delhi. Now upstairs, Maulana Ismail tombs are still preserved in his own India to this day. The number of Maulans at the time of his funerals was so large, so that long bamboo poles had been leaning on both sides, to allow hundreds of men to carry his body 3.5 miles from Delhi to Nizamli. Maulana Ismail had 3 sons, Maulana Muhammad from his first wife, Maulana Muhammad Yahya and Maulana Muhammad Ilyas from his second wife. Maulana Muhammad Ilyas was born in 1885. His childhood was spent at his grandfather's house in Kandla, Saharanpur, and also with his father in Nizamli. At the time, the Kandla family was the cradle of a generation of deeply religious Muslims in his time. The mother of Maulana Muhammad Ilyas Bisafia has been studying Quran since childhood. With regular practice, he recited the entire Quran and additional 10 juz every day during the month of Ramadan. He completed 40 times the completion of the Quran in that month, very eloquently. In his household duties, he did not suffer because of it. And some daily work he does while reading the Quran. Like all the other children in the family, Maulana Ilyas started his education at the Maktab and according to family traditions. Quran learning in his life of life. Quran learning is so common in his family. Yet in the role of worshipper at the family mosque, no one is non-Hafiz. All of them are 100% Hafiz Quran. Maulana Muhammad Ismail is Yumi Bisafia's favorite child. 2 years after the death of Maulana Muhammad Yahya, the eldest brother of Maulana Muhammad Ilyas, whose mother, Maulana Muhammad, also died. He is a man who embodies compassion, pity, and humility. He loves solitude and does not care about worldly comfort. He lives in Maulana Masjid in Zamri, at the place of his late father. There is a madrasa in the mosque which was found by Maulana Muhammad Ismail. Many people from Delhi and Mewat are devoted to Maulana Muhammad and have verified from his guidance. His face had a radiance of spirituality. He often gave the Paris sermons and also he was very raw and ascetic like his father. Maulana Muhammad suffered from the eye pain that had to be operated on 7 times. Maulana Muhammad Ilyas went to Delhi to look after his sick brother and he lived with him at the Nawab Wali Masjid of Kasapua. It was there that Maulana Muhammad died and the funeral took place at Nizamuddin. Thousands of people attended the funeral. After the funeral, thousands of people used Maulana Muhammad Ilyas to stay in Nizamuddin to fill the void caused by the death of his father and brother. He also promised to make a monthly donation to the madrasa, which Maulana finally agreed, as long as it was in accordance with the condition itself. Maulana Muhammad Ilyas explained that he would stay in Nizamuddin and be responsible for madrasa, and also with Maulana Khalil Ahmad Saharanpur agrees. After that, some people offered to go to Saharanpur for donations, but Maulana Muhammad Ilyas says that was not the best way to do it. He would go alone, unaccompanied by anyone. Finally, Maulana Muhammad Ilyas went to Saharanpur and explained everything to Maulana Khalil Ahmad and got his approval. But he added one thing. He was tested for 1 year at Mazahir al-Ulum, and if proven successful at Nizamuddin, he will be decided to stay there permanently. And if he wishes, he can resign at any time. Maulana came to Nizamuddin from Kandla. At the time there was no place to live in Nizamuddin, and bordering the masjid, growing trees and shrubs are very thick. Maulana Isri Samuel Hassan came to accompany him while he was there. There was very few resources in madrasa in those days. Several times they had to starve, but Maulana endured it all with a happy heart sometimes nothing to eat. Whoever wants to stay, please stay, and whoever wants to leave, please leave. That's what they say. They emphasize moral and spiritual training at this madrasa, so that none of them are willing to leave this madrasa. Most of the time, they live only by eating wild fruits. The clerics themselves broke wood from the forest to prepare chapati, that's soft bread, which they ate with chutney or pickles. Poverty not no impression on Nirvana. What he worries about is abundance and prosperity, which he believes is closer to evil. He is very grateful for the trials and tribulations of the religious endeavors that he is undergoing. Madrasa outward appearance is unattractive to the camp. One area emphasized more on the quality and the quality of human faith in it. One said that if the madrasa building was luxurious, it would leave a worthy impression for the opponents. Upon the merchant named Haji Abdul Rahman X Maulana to ask Allah for him in a very important matter, and gave him a bag full of rupees. Maulana agreed to pray on his behalf, but refused to accept money. According to him, even though the madrasa has financial difficulties, the work of faith is not done in luxury, otherwise what will be given to the Prophet's prophet. The relationship with Mewat also began in Maulana Ismail's lifetime until it was continued by Maulana Ilyas, his grandchildren, until now. Nizamuddin is the entrance gates for Mewat people who wants to go to Delhi. It's narrated that once he went out in hopes of finding his slave with whom he could go to the masjid and over to pray with them. He met some Mewat people who were playing up renting to work in the tin warehouse near the masjid. He asked them, "Where are they going?" "We will find work," they replied. "How much money do you expect to earn nowadays?" "If you get the same pay here," said Maulana, asking what the part of going elsewhere. The workers agreed, and Maulana Ismail took them to the masjid and started teaching prayers and the Quran. It said that he paid their wage. This money was from someone, and gives all his wealth to Maulana and his family. As a result of that effort, they are used to establishing the prayers or learning to memorize the Quran. It was the beginning of Maulana Wali Masjid Madrasa, and these Mewat people were the first graduates. After that, about 10 students of Mewati hours in man's home and his Madrasa, until the end of their lives, even to their children and grandchildren and their great-grandchild to these days. Sheikh Abu Hassan al-Madwi in the book Halak Masjid Amila writes, "In all of Muslims, there are so many true scholars, writers, Ahlullah, who have futures in their character, knowledge, morals, beauty, intelligence, sincerity, and closeness to Allah. But among them, there was one family that was truly special in the devotion to religion, namely the Jamjana and the Kandas family, both from the Muzaffar Mandar religion. They are the Siddiq family, descendant of Abu Bakr Siddiq's best friend. Always born from their families in every era, scholars, awliya, and so special. In every religious movement, they are always at the forefront. Their time is mostly used only for religion. So it's almost certain that all of them became faqih, muftis, ulama, sunnah experts, spiritual experts, sheikh, morals for centuries. They are the ones who are famous in the struggle of researching of faith, science, sufis, fiqh, and so on. The addition in them in the field of religion is not only found among them. The addition that is no less great is also among the women, also among the children. In another territory, Sheikh Abu Hassan al-Anami also wrote for them that another family were born more than 4,000 clerics. Awliya, Mufti, Hadith. All areas of religious struggle are the ones who control. In the book of Sirat, Sheikh Muhammad Yahya also wrote testimony about his family. His family is truly blessed by Allah. There is no doubt about the man. That is not that much different for the woman. Their house always contained in the light of practice and feeding. So that in a very long period of time, centuries, Kamla houses have become religious or not. It's also almost certain that their house are witness of how the residents are always busy with sunnah prayers, with recitation of the Quran, Zikrullah, and their children are always educated in the sunnah. Especially in the month of Ramadan, we see a miraculous and extraordinary sight. The women and their children are also always educated in the sunnah. Especially in the month of Ramadan, we see a miraculous and extraordinary sight. The women complete the Quran every day by rote, so the thousands of Qurans can be complete once a month in Kamla village. Some of the names we know from his family include Maulana Muhammad Ismail, Maulana Muhammad Yahya, Maulana Muhammad Ilyas, Maulana Yusuf, Maulana Imam Hassan, Maulana Zakaria, Maulana Idris, Maulana Isyam Hassan, Maulana Harun, Maulana Taha, and many others, including the one who is now in charge of Nizamuddin in India, Da'wah Markas these days, Hadrat Junaid Saad Kamalawi.